Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Perez. Welcome to Spanish 1 Flex course, and I will be your instructor for the next 12 weeks. And so you should have received a bunch of vocabulary pamphlets, practice worksheets, games, activities, links in your email, so you can follow along. And so when I refer to it during class, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get started. Bienvenidos a mi clase de español. Soy señora Perez. Welcome to my Spanish class. I'm Mrs. Perez. And so let's go ahead and get started. We are in clase uno, class 1. Today we're going to cover greetings, weather, days of the week, months of the year, birthdays, ages, colors, lots of fun things planned for today. Okay, so let's start with the first question is ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas means what is your name? And in Spanish, the double L sounds like a Y. And so you reply by saying, Me llamo, and then your name. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself first. Me llamo Señora Pérez. ¿Y tú cómo te llamas? You go ahead and pause and practice replying. Next question. ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? And you reply by saying soy de, and then just you could say the state or the country that you are from, and you can practice that. So for me, yo soy de Iowa en los Estados Unidos. What about you? ¿De dónde eres? I always start class off with how are you feeling, such as ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás is how are you feeling? And ¿Qué tiempo hace? What is the weather like? See if I can make this a tad bit smaller. Okay. So you reply by saying estoy bien, if you're doing well. Estoy más o menos. Estoy mal. And below, you have other ways to describe if you want to elaborate more. So, like for me, I can go first and say, Hoy yo estoy bien. Yo estoy contenta y un poco cansada. I'm doing well, I'm content, and I'm a little tired today. And so there's more words below if you want to practice learning more vocabulary words. So we have contenta or contento, fantástico or fantástica, maravilloso, maravillosa, nervioso, cansado, estresado, like stressed, tired, nervous. And I use the at sign to represent the O or an A. So for girls, you say you use an A, like I said, contenta. Boys, contento. And then maybe you're angry, enojado or enojada. Triste, it's always triste, and that never changes to an O or an A. It's always an E. And then enfermo or enferma. And then, ¿qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like today? In Spanish, we use hace for our weather phrases. And remember in Spanish, the H is silent. So you don't say hace, you say hace. So, ¿qué tiempo hace en Iowa? So I will say, hoy en Iowa hace frío y hace sol. Those are my two weather descriptions. So you can practice saying the weather out loud, and there's also a weather diary if you want to practice writing out your weather phrases. So there's 3 different ways to talk about the air temperature. You can say hace frío, hace fresco, or hace calor. If you want to say it's nice out or bad out, just say hace buen tiempo, hace mal tiempo. Hace sol for sunny. Hace viento for windy. For cloudy, we say está nublado. For drizzling, llovizna. Raining, llueve. Where's our double L's? Sound like a Y. And then nieva for snowing. So go ahead, respond. ¿Qué tiempo hace? And our calendar, our calendario, and how you do your dates in Spanish, you will say hoy. Hoy means today. Hoy es el, and then you plug in the date, followed by the preposition day and the month. So, for example, hoy es el 4 de febrero. Why don't you go ahead and repeat after me? Hoy es el 4 de febrero. Hoy es el domingo. So you just plug it in where the red circle is, the day of the week and also the date. So there's other days in the week. Let's go through and practice what each day of the week sounds like. Repeat after me. Domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. All right. There's also other months of the year. So let's go through and hear what these sound like. So when in a couple of slides down, when you have to form your birthday, you'll be able to go back and listen to what the month sounds like. So repeat after me, starting with January. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. All right, muy bien. We'll come back to date formation here shortly. Okay, but first I wanted to show you how to form your numbers. So I thought we would start with the numbers 0 through 15. And then, so let's go ahead. Repeat after me. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you get to the 11 through 15, we call this our say group because they all end with say. So listen and repeat. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. So listen to the difference between like 2 and 12. We have dos, doce. That's going to be important when we play our number game here shortly. And numbers 1 through 15, I think we're good. So we'll keep going. You can always go back and watch if you need some more help. All right, so the first 2 columns are the columns that we just went over. And so after 15, when you get to the number 16, something magical happens. Basically, it is an addition problem, really. And so you take all of the numbers that I just introduced to you on the previous slide, and you combine them to create new numbers as an addition problem. So if you look at 16, basically, if you think of the E, which is a plus sign, 10 plus 6 is 16. So we already learned diez, and we know that seis is 6. So you just take the numbers over here to create new ones. So 10 and 6, or 10 plus 6, is 16. There'll be a pattern you're going to start seeing pick up. So repeat after me. 10 y 6, 10 y 7, 10 y 8, 10 y 9, and then comes 20. Same thing with 20. So the trick is, if you know the tens place, then you can form all the numbers in between all the tens. So the tens place for 20 is 20. And then we add it on, 20 and 1. 20 y 1. 20 y 2. 20 y 3. 20 y 4. 20 y 5. 20 y 6. 20 y 7. 20 y 8. 20 y 9. And then comes 30. Repite, 30. And then now that you know the 30, you can build on 30 through 39. And then in a couple classes from now, we'll learn bigger numbers. But we'll start with these, since that would be the calendar numbers. Okay? So to practice our numbers, I have a game here. And as you can see, there are hidden numbers throughout our Encanto slide here. And the vocabulary words are over here on the right. If you need some help with remembering what the how to say or hear the numbers. And the listening practice for today is called ¿Dónde está el número? Where is the number? So I'm going to say, like, maybe I'll say, ¿Dónde está el número uno? Where is number one? And then you have to find number one in here. And you can just point at your screen. Like, there's number one. Okay, so let's practice. ¿Dónde está el número cuatro? And if you need more time, you can always pause. Cuatro está aquí. All right, next one. ¿Dónde está el número cinco? Cinco está aquí. Sometimes there's doubles. Like, here's another cuatro. Okay, here we go. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 10? 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 está aquí. ¿Dónde está el número 12? 12. We hear the say, so we know it's going to be in that group. 12. ¿Dónde está el número 12? 12 está aquí y está aquí. ¿Dónde está el número 6? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ¿Dónde está el número 6? 6 está aquí y aquí. Aquí means here. Right here and right here. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 9? 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. ¿Dónde está 9? Hay muchos nueves. There's lots of nueves. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 número nueves. All right, next one. ¿Dónde está el número 15? 15. 15 está aquí. ¿Dónde está el número 16? 16. 10 and 6. 16 está aquí. 16. ¿Dónde está el número 22? 22 is right here. 22. Está aquí. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 29? 29. 29 está aquí. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 7? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. ¿Dónde está 7? 7 está aquí, abajo. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 11? 11. 11 está aquí, right by Antonio. Next one. ¿Dónde está el número 25? 25. 25 está aquí y aquí en las flores. Hidden in the flowers and las flores. All right, so now you should practice it at home. Maybe find somebody that could play a game with you where you practice saying ¿Dónde está el número? And then you practice your speaking, and then somebody else will try to find the numbers just like we practiced here. All right, so now we are going to do our acciones. we've been sitting now and we're halfway through class. And so we are going to learn actions. The first action is levántate. Levántate means stand up. So we're going to stand up and get our blood moving because we've been sitting quite some time. And plus, all of these words that you're learning under actions, every class I'm going to add an action. And all of these verbs and phrases you will see come up later on in class. So this is a way to learn new vocabulary. So it's important that you listen and do these and learn new vocab every class. So levántate means levitate or stand up, and then the opposite one is siéntate, which means sit down. And then I'll fill them in between. So the first action we have is toca los pies y la cabeza. Toca means touch. Touch. So I'm going to ask you to touch your pies. Pies are feet. And then touch your cabeza. Cabeza is your head. So we're starting to learn vocab today. So let's go ahead and do this. So everybody, levántate and toca la cabeza. Toca los pies. Toca los pies. Toca la cabeza y siéntate. Siéntate. All right, let's move on. So let's practice saying our birthday. And again, how we do the date, I have here, you start with el, the date of your birthday, followed by day and the month. And so I can go first, and let's see if you can hear when my birthday is. Mi cumpleaños es el 8 de febrero. Mi cumpleaños es el 8 de febrero. And if you guessed the 8th of February, you were right. Yeah. All right, so why don't you go ahead, pause, and practice saying when your birthday is. I also like to show you how to say your age. So the question for how old are you is ¿Cuántos años tienes? How many years do you have? And you reply by saying tengo, inserted by the number, followed by the word años, which means years. So I can go first. Yo tengo 39 años. What about you? ¿Cuántos años tienes? All right. Muy bien. Let's practice colors. The next question is, ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? What is your favorite color? Sorry, excuse me. And there's different colors that you can choose. And let's go through and figure out first what the colors sound like. And then we'll start creating sentences. Here we go. Repeat after me. Rojo. Anaranjado. So in Spanish, the J sounds like an H. That's a hard one. Let's try it again. Anaranjado. Amarillo. Verde. Azul. Morado. Rosa. Gris. Café. Blanco. Negro. All right, so I'll go ahead and start. Mi color favorito es rojo. What about you? ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? Okay, muy bien. So let's practice both together. So I'm going to say a color, and then you tell me what, in Spanish, what the number is on that color. And let me move this over so you can see the colors if you need to. All right, so if I say el color es azul, you shout out uno, because there's a number 1 on the color azul. Okay, here we go. El color es anaranjado. El color es anaranjado. 5. If you need more time, make sure you pause. El color es verde. 4. El color es rojo. 2. El color es rosa. 8. El color es amarillo. 3. El color es café. 6. El color es negro. 11. El color es blanco. 7. El color es morado. Morado. 9. Y el color es gris. Gris. 10. 10, 10, 10. Okay? Muy bien. If you want to practice this with somebody at home as well, you could practice saying your colors, and they can practice learning the numbers. Okay. So this is a game called Sorry, and I sent this over that you can print off and you can play it. Basically what you do, you're going to need some dice. You don't have, and you will roll a die. Like I rolled a 3, and so that means that I'm going to start here. Meta is, we're going to start, and our goal is to get over here. And you're going to go around the board, and you're going to create a sentence about the color that you land on. And so you're going to start your sentence with el color es. So I rolled a 3, so I would need like a little place marker to go. And so I get to 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I get to roll again. That means roll again. This one means I go forward 5 spaces. Vuelve, vuelve, return home. And then advance 2 spaces. Vuelve al inicio, return home. And in sorry, if somebody lands on you, you get sent home as well. So let's say I roll again and I get a 1, and I advance to this block here. I would create a sentence that says el color es blanco, or el color es verde. Practice using a verb in your sentence and have fun playing. All right, let's move on. Your homework. If you're interested in practicing, here's the vocabulary and a weather diary for you to keep track, so you can practice writing out the weather descriptions, matching the months of the year. There's a mariposa you can color. A mariposa is a butterfly. Let's hear everybody say mariposa. It's a color by number. And then here's some more practice with your addition, subtraction, multiplication with numbers. And then the section here is writing in the day of the week, month, or season that's missing. And this one down here would be for you to practice writing out your dates. Remember, the first number is the date, the second is the month. So the way that Spanish-speaking countries write out their dates is just a tad bit different than we're used to. So like for example, this one here, it is not June 1st. It's the 6th of January. And we will check all these next class. I'll put up on the screen if you want to check them and see how you did. All right, so we just went over your tarea, your homework, if you like. There's also quizlet flashcards that go along with the colors and numbers that you can start learning, and some of the action flashcards are in there as well. And you should have received the Quizlet link to join my class. Okay, we always have to say a goodbye. And there's many ways to say goodbye in Spanish. Of course, we have adios or chao, but there's lots of hastas, like hasta luego, hasta mañana, hasta pronto, hasta la próxima, hasta nunca, or te veo luego, ten un buen día, or cuídate. So go ahead and pick one, and that would be the end of our first class. So I'm going to say hasta la próxima. Ciao.